Yesum asantima Ghana mai ana fiasa fere nyina me fiase na me fiase da me do coalition of NAPCO trainees omui ana sia de mo e kan se mo de se enyakopon ya aduma na otwe mu a ana wode ma Ghana bampani na be de che Dr. Mamuba mu ade nyina se kwhye bobi che se o banka tua bi no ma bi ehia ho bia no obetua de mo arrest akam ni nyina no kwhye ho bo se obetua de mo June boso da to so bi 2024 ya vice president e kan se mo e de tuo mo so bia dem mo hwedi be pinse me nyande se e be petimi ade ni bo hye so de no na isia be wo mo wantwantwa isia mo dwene nkra mo ntiase na amo chese de mo antiase no kwan se o anya nkra ba se no mudi nkomo ana akopretumi se musika aka musuma akoma akon de obetua de mo ene nkeni se ja wo se ade oyen ka be ye ne so oba hwedi mu a obi a hwedi se anya hwekura we betumi aba na obi a ho be ye de ana de wi person de ye no e betumi aboa oni kro ne so ma hwedi mu a de no na public relations officer ma coalition of NAPCO trainee for ura Eric Nana Techi odno onya akunya sonko no wote chemu se omo isiande se Dr. Mamuba ya wodi mu hwamo papa na be pinse se mene waye din e wo sansem na oka se o kabi wodi bia no nkomo e de be ma wo mo no se o me dem nka hwe we de massive demonstration sa demonstration be yi eje se be on be ne nkwankura mu o be ne kase mpa e de tia se be ya sika na aka mu no obetua de mo me sei ana mu chi mu de chen.
As I speak to you, NAPCO trainees are going through excruciating hardships. In fact, the situation of NAPCO trainees is very pathetic. It is very pathetic. Trainees are in a state of shock and starvation to death. Trainees cannot even afford 2 cities food. As I speak to you, NAPCO beneficiaries are psychologically traumatized. You know the green economy outlook that we find ourselves in, the high inflation, unemployment rate, high prices of goods and services and electricity. NAPCO trainees are not exempted from this, and we plead with the Vice President to honor the promises we made to release funds to pay NAPCO beneficiaries. We have given the Vice President 1 week ultimatum to release funds to settle all the arrears that have engulfed the NAPCO scheme. Failure to do that, we are going to see a mega demonstration against the Vice President if our demands are not met within the specific day that has been given.
Ednia Wutie, public relations officer, ma coalition of NAPCO trainee. Ura Eric Nana Techi na oteni ko je se ba obi obehye mo bo we di adahoroma omuni ntintin bia bo se na wo hye wo mo no odi woni so de ntimanya sade a na wotwe demonstration we massive de mo group a nyankra de no me no memu edietia
afi 2018 mo na yehu se oshubobi boy ye ede efa wo man Ghana ye banking sector no na yehu se banks be ye senum akukudam na afi nkuma bia keka ho wo mo nyina da ye to bank nim na ne nyina da ye se wo mo emfa emra bia ebo bank dwumade ho emra do endi dwuma na nam so ma nipa bia no mo sika wo ho ne nyina da ekọ ekemu na every 2018 ebesi na ye kasa ineska no embaye na se di asem da every hoba and se Ghana man panyin na adodan kwa Kufuado waka kira so ye he man sika sam so se omo for 1.5 billion Ghana cedis from my customers ya musika ekoka mu ewo bank ya hodo aye gugu no emu na wo man ye photo sam for Dr. Mohammed Amin Adamse wono na chese meeting bi ekoso ewo United Kingdom UK abrochimemu ho no de kwato just say die I wo mate wo mo ede ho dwuma akaso mo be hye na sika no ma chichem ama obia ni sika kwaka bank bia mu no ne nsa aka ansa na October etumi aba ora Amin Adams Mohammed yentino.
But government will not be held responsible for the investment decisions of individuals. But this government is so caring. Mistakes were made. People were not well informed. Maybe they didn't know who to consult to be informed or advised. But we also know that the people who are affected are suffering. We heard that some people have died. Some people had to commit suicide. This government is so caring that in the first place we granted some bailout to all the affected. And I want to tell you again that the president has directed that we do another bailout. So between now and October, we will release 1.5 billion Ghana cedis to the affected people. This will not pay the entire amount because the entire amount is 4 billion.
Any yeti your my Ghana ye photo sam for Dr. Mohammed Amin Adams. Na nwachi na semi ekwoba ye ene wo mo musika ekwoka banke ahodro no wo se ye wo mo cheso wo mani age wo mo gitum de na nso so ade abako ho mo no sa 1.5 billion Ghana cedis to me jia wo musika no a ekwoka mu ni nyina no so akoya asem bi o mo kyese twetwere wo mo ebo na wo wura Charles Nyame wo no na twese wo kasa de ma Gold Coast Fund Management Limited defunct o mo a o musika kwoka mu sa kuro no wo no na twese wo gina mu kasa ma mo kyese wo mate ayi wo mo dade da so sa siga kuro ye bodi etimi o musika nyina na so mo ka ni nyina da emfa emma wo mo.
There is some form of relief, at least a sign of commitment from the side of government after we have pleaded and demonstrated for the past almost 4 years after the partial bailout. It's a sign of hope. But when you look at the outstanding balance locked up in this financial sector cleanup, especially with that of the fund management, Gold Coast Fund Management customers alone, we are having outstanding of over 4 billion Ghana cedis. And if we are to consider this money to be relieved to Gold Coast customers alone, it is not even up to 50% of the outstanding balances that's supposed to be paid to Gold Coast Fund Management customers. Not to talk of the rest of the institutions. So we believe that the government could do better. And we are pleading with the government that they should come back again and top it up a bit so that at least it can cushion every customer to not less than about 70% of outstanding debt owed, and then we can talk about the rest.
Next year, can you not a 4 billion Ghana cedis? And I buy say 1.5 billion Ghana cedis. That's like 2.5 billion Ghana cedis. Almost yes, o mo chakra so fa enti abane hwe no onye bibi enka ho na nipa yete nkan the day the Charles Nyame ono ne kasa the Defunct Gold Coast Fund Management Limited.
Na yemfi na fe bi fa ko Ministry of Communication and Digitalization wo bona isia de mo sra sa da horo man kebe ya duma wo no krafin ko forma so titru pa ni mobile phone sia ye krafin ko forma so de ba na etu esunsu nya agrokora ga wenu nyina ka ho bi amamanfo bedua nam kuntu ase a won ede mobile phone bi fa visa to da so 2020 na my illegal connection bi na ba memu sa no mo nyina ya de omudi wani ade achi a ga ni nyina yesem ya asoe no enya adaje hwehwe mu se da bi etu da so woni nka ba no tumi ye ho bibia nka betia bo pa na ama enoma hodo a ye credit fin confirm duty ni mobile phone no isi nkofo hwegum na momom nam se etu da so no esu ninti no na 2022 ni mu no edo na eye ministry no nya adaje hwehwe mu se da bi dia komana ya de hadwe papa na omusi gina ese sa dia hone pani ba ku bia na mako bi aye global central ifo bedi nkomo na matumanya registration papa bi e dia masa kwan hodo a betunya bon ho ban tene be ya mo kra phone siri fin conform so ba no de nyina mpempi no ekoba so betunya fa kuntu ase na fa be go mamu na se gina ya kwan be fa so de sim card nyina ne nso nei ma wani mo ahwedi mu a na nkomo se za da Roma dan ka be Ghana ban enhwe na no ma hodo betunya ama to hodo de da sa mobile phone so ni nyina so se ya krafin conform so ba no de nyina betumi aboma man dwumadi ye die titiu edne kwan amfa so amonfo bebre no a emfa kwan papa so emfa enkra edoma mfa mfiri o ma foforo so ema o ma Ghana mu de nyina ye ho entomi we nyina yade a e ha adwe na yade nso a ebo ma no so eka na onyakonya sonko dwamfo osla osu akofo echechi mu de ntia sa no we nyina ekoso ma mu nka ban be mu a betumi aboa.
There's quite a fair bit of smuggling in of devices without paying the requisite taxes because it's high and there's an incentive to bring it in without paying the taxes. So my conversation with GRA, the former commissioner and the finance ministry is that with this equipment identity register, you would have visibility over all devices that are customed and uncustomed. Currently, they are collecting just about 30-40% of the tax that they should on devices because it's high, so people are smuggling it in. So once this network is up and running, we can lower the taxes to like 10 or 5%, which will enable more people be compliant than they are. So at the end of the day, they won't even lose out. We pegged it way too high. So it's an incentive for people to smuggle it in, depriving the nation of much needed revenue. Let's reduce it. Economies of scale, it just makes sense.
Etnia wotie Minister of Communication and Digitalization Una hire Osla Osu Ekufu no achechim ochese phones ahodo gina e graving conformance to da so nya grunti nam sa nti monfo ne had abo mutirumpo enem kuntuase ne yesa de we nyina yade a ebo opa no e ka no achechiri no ti no jese mo amanya da je woni so ene nya adifo de to ana se munya so mfaso edam se bia enem kuntuase ne ba no hwe na no mahodo a odi agu akwamu no se so mu a ho bekire.
It reduces the incentive for people to steal other people's phones. I've been going around my constituency as usual, and one of the largest security concerns is phone snatching. So if we set up the system and we're going to do it, nobody has to queue to do register any device. We can get that information from the telcos who have it already. If your device is lost or stolen, you can report it and it will be blocked, and it cannot be used on any network in this country. So for petty criminals who steal people's devices for resale, it becomes useless because it will be blocked. And the unblocking and unlocking industry too, unfortunately, will be affected.
Etnia wotie Osla Osu Ekufu, Minister of Communication anu achechi mu nie se a odi ego ko mafo manya wonfaso ebire se o wade wedie nam se bia we be kan se krono die ntie ne obi a nchi obi anya usie no se hia mu de ego akwamu no obi a be chi obi a no ho be da semu
ade de Douglas bank yo
ya papa
omo be ye phone no in such a way say ebe wo serial number
serial number
it say meme dia na obe wia mo a mo sore amode ekumane Ibrahim time ebi kura de ade offense afro ko no de su obi ha say no ehununa no aje ne phone sa wo je phone no a na nipa kro no afre e ma cho me phone obi awie kwen ne ablock phone e de kura wa de sa da ne tontura ene so de bo ne babo su ka babo akwa te kro no so e ma me yasa we de mo ye magia ka be ye do
be ni je be banso
adeya o me wie ye phone chese ababa do phone da.
Okay, me obi agime phone da na easy. That me no particulars also pa na me say this ka koto ofro. Azanya wo.
The particulars na do. Trauma kwa de be na.
I say wo, easy.
Mo hayo.
Mo ya
ye twan crop for bag we nyina ka juma we nya ke begu.
So tonso na mo ka sa.
Mo atiti new side. Ya de plantain wuro bi stress phone. Monya ma ye why
monya ne sama na
ye hu samodo ye amuku ye abusuafo wasuku suit Sikka 89.5 anwumere no sia kasebo ene guso aye kenkan ede ama no ye to kasebo no so dia ye ko Reverend Dr. Lawrence tate akache wo ye sofo ponwo wo no na chese wo kanyame asempa wono so ene ye president edema worldwide miracle outreach aso ndi etebro fonko na wo so wonu de wo bu so se identity na panyimfo wo so wo hye eboye nsu ho ban atena ho aye hye ha amase se wo ba o mayi mu a chese ko 40 gram se access nsu obo ade ede eche ye ama se yesu nyina enso atumi aseye wo kire se ye wo bambo adwumayefo wo ho abaye adwumayefo nananu mo panyifo wo so mo nyina da wo mo wo bibi ye wo mu wo so mo hyeboa ema garam se ho sam etu efuro mamu na so wo bia yi nani na yensuo ye a na esait wono de wo kire se ha adwen pa etibe ya panyifo fo mo nan ensi fom na wo mo hye esanya sa de a ebe kakra aduane kura na mu bo ye di ye nya bi po ne adi ni akoto na bode na afesu ye nya supa so ennom ankotwetwe yare wa hodro bia enso ambra ye na Reverend Dr. Lawrence said this asem nya da todwa abra central for share mo bi ekoso ni nyina da eye na nsatwumadia crusade a wo mo aye ewo Kumase ha St. Cyprian's Anglican Church bompata Kumase na dwumadie no eba baka so hye se wukuada na chese akwa kowie mementa ni nyina na sa nyina asori ni bebompa ya magano wo mo bebompa ye de magana etibayifo nya o mafamu de na nyame so tie ye mpiabo na o maye ntimi eko anim. Reverend Dr. Lawrence tete yentino.
Then the next thing that I'm very concerned about is Galamsey, Ashanti region, Western region, Eastern region. Many are the parts where Galamsey is done. What has gone wrong? Don't we have police? Don't you have army? Don't you have immigration? Don't you have security system? What is it that is stopping us from stopping Galamsey that is destroying everybody. As a matter of fact, it is very worrying, and I want to say that let us all together fight it. I'm not seeing enough said from the media on Galamsey. I think that we've done little, and we all should not forget that if we don't handle this menace well, very soon Ghana will be importing water. We've heard from some other places, pure water is used to water cocoa crops and certain crops, because the water in those areas are not only polluted but also highly contaminated. Children are born with a lot of deficiency today because of the bad water pollution. And so Galamsey is something we must all fight. Who are those behind it? And why is it that we don't seem to have a solution to it? I think all of us must come together in what I call a massive united front to fight Galamsey. And not certain that as a nation we must stand together in what I call a massive united front to fight this canker. Look at our water bodies today. If any of you have seen our water bodies, when we were little, we could drink from every river. Today you cannot drink from the river. Not only is the river turned brown, but it's also sickening. Mercury and the chemicals in the river doesn't even make it very healthy for even fishes to live in it. We have a collective responsibility.
And what she and a Reverend Dr. Lawrence that's a course one so a catcher bambo edgemakrono and ne amanya force beya omon sorrow wakano montanase now womon share a market as a share dream dear canca yana proye coco football boy coso woman moon anyone as a dija war hey wayna and cobetima yedman and so when a minimum mamma financial hall Sunday managing I dear more mind put to a question to a more no more shensi Sunday man quine nagana soon to be found to my pa and fra.
The issue of corruption, favoritism, and nepotism that has permeated our body politics that we should be mindful. Unfortunately, many of the anti-corruption strategies, efforts tend to target the symptoms of corruption instead of the main causes of the problems, and we need to really address the right people. Our security services and politicians must sit up to help curb and stop this nonsense. We need to address what is preventing men and women from feeling strong conviction that they are Ghanaians, and from also exercising the authority as Ghanaians who are not sitting on the fence but speaking their mind. We should not use, certainly, back to media again, the media to gag people who speak their mind. In the nation we live in today, we are talking about democracy. Everybody should have the right to speak his mind, but not to undermine people's integrity. And I certainly think we, as a people together, should desist from that.
Reverend we and what you chat was Ghana phone na I was so be a share na aba edi animo ye kwakoto yi wo bia me hye obi akutupa ama na kwakọ ya de bia edement me ho asem papa mu bia beba ye nyina ye nkambom na ye nkoto aba na sumdue mu na emoa na Ghana so entime enkonkan he.
The next thing I want to talk about, which is very crucial, is that this year is an election year. It will take the clergy and the media to keep Ghana together. I know most of the media houses don't know that the fourth reign of the estate started with the clergy first before it comes to the media. A lot of people, when they say fourth realm of the estate, it's only the media the thing. It starts first with the clergy before it descends to the media. What we say, how we say it, how we approach it matters a lot. And if none of us sees that, we are in trouble. We must all together make ourselves goodwill ambassadors. Ambassadors who seek the peace of Ghana. Whether it is NDC or MPP or CPP or any political party that rules, it must rule in peace. And collectively, we must know that it's the ballot that should determine who wins. So during the election, after the election, and even before the election, we must all play our role as good citizens to make sure Ghana stays together. Let us come together and stand together. We must be careful not to use this election to divide our nation. This election is not about Christians and Muslims or atheists or traditionalists. It's about Ghana. And this election should not be a time when our political leaders will be so irresponsible, easy to divide us as a nation. From intermemorial till now, Ghanaian Muslims and Christians and other religious bodies have lived together in unity. This election should not be a catalyst to destroy the peaceful coexistence. And for me, whether it's a Christian or a Muslim, let us look at what values one carries to take Ghana forward. We need to go forward. In order for us to build a formidable community, we must first base on values.
Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tetewano and a president at the Worldwide Miracle Outreach. Na futu ne musham eno dia magana fonyi na nakase boy yensem troni wa wahina na kwamna pia wono ene koboabo no edbreye.
Ba yentoso o kase boy mu na fe me fanko kane district chief executive ko Central Central. Asante mantemnya for kojo anahene bidi akwene wani akura 94 years etna se wo the point dwumedie so. Da the point dwumedie so na ja nkomoni die mu a kopere betu mu a Dr. Mahmoud Bobia Franka tuni ni ma emi kuma ekono sisi awani metina bed ne papa obi a chena nso o yemfe the best mission for bentin na sase me ba ye na kane district chief executive Master Central nyamfo kojo bana hene bedi akon onya akonya zonko no oje chimu se papa mu me nya no na fe ye nya se de pressure ma no obi anya no de ekura be mu onya pressure aden onu a ni bakura obetumi afetu na adwuma mu onu a ni bakura be kan ho a na adwuma no waye no ebetumi aboa no na fe bibia de mutudo nti obi anya no na se de onya akonya zonko de point dwuma so a ofalasa koja bo akura 94 years operetu mu aja wo busa ne se onya akonya zonko eno no so chenu nana bana hene bedi akon eka ne sei
Besramo obi enya ye abeko asem nya bia nka mepe.
Oh, okay.
But you see yemma papa no kwan na ohunu se ne betimi aboa menni. Of course not being there it's not out of place. But the kwan ya fa so aye no ebi ko answer se binim ko age contract. Ti od fa fa no de we de ko no de
Ni people ko a obe 3
ni pa be 5
to say oko ha ka obi
na dey am say
oye hodwuma
Dr. Mahmoud Baumia na do dan ko kufuado na running mate.
This kasu wompa
Running mate so o me sa ko madwuma na e dey man because company kufo na identify no and another kufuado agrumu no into way anyway near say yetintin ni na no ne na fofo no obia enya no hunu say party nen kanko any Ghana for ye di nti any person si any fisher me the bar the mam chances of winning na dey bright ni na fa ho de ntai the ne ba bi aji
abofo say no sent na ma up to now that share dem a
o dey so mo ka date no nye ka date no say by between May ending and June ending they present the person. You are buying you near buy more. It's a difference. And I mean, be bring you.
And so no
time to. And yeah,
date ya we date new.
And yeah, date.
And to ending.
As I was assuming no inquiry. Bibi a bit
ending to June ending.
And I'm just a Bibi Busum inquiry. And that was a journey. Bibi a bit miss the nature. Look, I come to Kako. You can mammy a book. Now my town now to me. And
run much in you can.
Yeah, mammy a boom. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. He's free, fair, and fair. But any bonus in the Pelibri, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, I running mate for 8 years nearby. I running mate opposition 8 years.
8 years.
It will be 16 years, 15 years, yeah. When a party and Nantia, you can use it. Well, you'll be a new burn horse here. You're very creative. Anybody out pencil, Tiniponi Panantia, Kusabrina, when you are there, the man of quite. If you say, well, we near, you're a good in Asso. Send a bear, we in your pair, in your idea, what day, a better actually. We need power, no, and MPP.
At now with ye Kane DC, Master Central, Union for Kojo Banahene Bediaku, Waniakura, 94 years, Unkitopma, the point you made yesterday, and Wubu, what you say, Ranimetunes was in Yanwa, no penny when you open if you say, Ubia, Edim Dope.
Yeah, call Save Ghana movement for Akachina, Wapenya Wono, and the Save Ghana movement, and him, Robert, Ansa, and Z. One also na de kokobo ekwa ediama amanyofo sebe ya amanyofo nyai se ebinu ma kasa Ghana fo ho a omo se ordinary Ghanaian na se Ghana ni akwa hwana ya Ghana ni akwa wo che se Ghana ni bia enya akwa na wo hwe edi Ghana mu a Ghana na aka se kura ye no ewo abakusem Ghana ejina ho ema wo hene ken na che se Ghana ni bia nya ni pa sebe wo papa kwa akwa anase wo ye ni pa bia akwa Ghana ni bia ye ni sonko ya hemfo ne ahema ene etie mamu edo mo ne yakasa eya no omunya so omofo ordinary Ghanaians no yentie na asem nai
Ghana ya sama ya kaina ne se MP ne se utie morning show ne interviews ya MPs ne ministers ne adia even o mampani na kasa kra na omota yusu wa di bi se the ordinary Ghanaian na ya kasa akoso a ni nimbe bia sa the ordinary Ghanaian for no omote meni so mo Ghana house e bia baby no mu from na omo betina Ghana na e bia omo no ihu omo sa de a meni because Ghana had mean this me after adanfo say omo the ordinary adanfo and I say refer asantefo so omo the ordinary asantefo so yen to me in cancer ansam na nkyere tribes I Ghana ha yen nyina na ya dia tum say Ghana for na yet Ghana asase so enti why na sa the ordinary Ghanaian na ya na mo ka kire omo say Ghana ya send decide bisa no and after no ye pese ya ma obi a ti asie say obi ni wa oye ordinary Ninjin bi say Ghana media otna obi man so ama sa kasa we no ya ka che that said the ordinary Ghanaian da but abin na yeti ye man so na ya to abeyi mpemifo na wan kasa mutim odeni aburo nti mama oman ni mu aye den ni bi ni mu entini engidi na mutumi sa fa ankofo ne so mo ye ordinary but e do abato de a mutumi ko mo sesi e bi mutumi ko akofufu kwa wo bi si ma no e bi ko ka banku e wo bi si ma no nti wo sa honorable na ni pa na wo ka banku ma no wo ne wa na ye ordinary e no kasa ye ka se Ghana for say e ma obi anjin to muda say o ye the ordinary Ghanaian say wo tutu mo pa e da ye beto aba no obi antna fie na mo obi ampi abonte na ye hye said the other Ghanaian for no be tia beto aba na because me no ordinary in abato no ko to bi ye go say wa no ka so won ye ordinary nti ninjin this abato du a obi to aba na wa me no de nkomo we no obi nya so o ma me so ye ordinary na obi nya so we see you so ye ordinary na to Ghanaians are see you ye na ye to aba yin pedifo nti won to reflect your see you so ye ordinary won to reflect your girlfriend so ye ordinary and after boyfriend so ye ordinary nti why na ye sa ordinary no so akasa na ye kasa ye wonte e kasa e time sabi ye papa pani otunfo ontumi kan cha kan support asan for ordinary and na otunfo sabi otoaba eboa gama nche otoaba to gbe afede otoaba nkan kofo no sabi omo ye ordinary na nti why na ordinary no
ani yeti ye Owura Robert Ansa Anzi wono na ye leader and man save Ghana movement wo se mo amanyofo no mo be petumi na mbo we fufuo e be si krofo pieto ebe prapra efie ne atoma wo wienam kodu soro ha mo be frɛ ye ordinary Ghanaian o mo na ye ordinary Ghanaian no ne buafu osibunim na mo ka biemu a abato odu Ghana fo mo me ye dem wo mo ba ne ka twa mo se ordinary Ghanaian bi antimi nto aba ye nye ordinary ye pebi ye ordinary ye ne de ye nim de na Ghana fo pa de hwe ne anye sa de na atum na honya amanonyi bia akogina ba bia akoka se ordinary Ghanaian
asabna ya asem na Ghanaian de ye to abama wo be ye de utimi fe
abaya kasa aka amanyefo no ho
omunyai
oh the ordinary Ghanaian na se wudi suru ho bi de a wo ye ordinary
se tisa de a omunyai
yenye ordinary
sa
ye hemfo ne ahema ye adehye ye na ye si ahene ene etu ahene fo na ye na ye toto ye ho asentia e kwaji nkuraba koto aba ne semna akanye dibire ne ye oh yene se ho mo bana ye kotokoto no kesi da enye ordinary
ya semu ye gina we so na fe nimre no se ka se bori gina ye mfasi akenkafo na nimre eye me bere masam kofi dogla jidin ansa na ominimini aba
ajoanya ko abrono man
yesemfo pani eye farasa koja bo akura 94 years onkita pmo no so kroje di ma ye edezo mancha sei at 2000 ofo TV manager odi bibia nso ma ye na fe wo hena na kwabna pia ebetena se bobo voice nyina uhu Facebook and YouTube a eye dabut ankribut odi bibia edi ma yesora kona fe dwumadi nkai bia no ato aso edi ma Sikka 89.5 so yesom